Hey everyone, Steven here from Radolescence, and welcome back to another fragrance review. Thank you so much for watching, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at a fragrance by Azzaro, and the fragrance is called Azzaro Now. So here's the bottle. This is a 2007 release, and the perfumers for this one are Christophe Renaud and Lucas Suzak. Now, Lucas Suzak has done The Game and The Game Intense for the House of Davidoff. He's also done Reflection Man by Amouage, whereas Christophe Renaud has worked on the infamous 1 Million by Paco Rabanne, and he's also done several other fragrances for the company Azzaro, one of which I actually think smells very similar to this one. Now, this fragrance is classified as a woody aromatic, and I find that classification to be rather accurate. And I do want to mention that there's a woman's version on the market as well. Now, the only difference is the color of the bottle. The presentation is the same, the bottle shape is the same, the design is the same. So just make sure, as a consumer, if you're looking to purchase the men's version, make sure that the box says men on it. Now, I also want to mention that there was another fragrance by Azzaro that was released in 2011 called Duo. That fragrance also has a men's version and a women's version. The bottle, exactly the same. The color is all silver, whereas this one has that bluish green tint to it. So make sure that it says Now and not Duo on the box, because the bottle also looks exactly the same. So I'm going to be letting you guys know what I think about the smell of this fragrance. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at the presentation. On the box, you have this reflective design here in the front with a silhouette that kind of mimics the one found on the bottle. You have the name of the fragrance, name of the company here at the top, size and concentration at the bottom, UPC at the very bottom with the serial number located slightly to the right engraved in the box. Some more information on the back, which I'll read to you in the smell segment of the review, and then you have a logo up here at the top, and that's it as far as the box goes. As far as the bottle goes, here it is. Very unique, unusual, and odd shape. My subscribers agree that it kind of looks like an adult toy. I think it looks kind of like a face mask, like an eye mask. Here you have the atomizer. This is not a cap. This is a built-in atomizer, so please be careful. You have the name of the fragrance here in the front. Distribution is actually very good. It sprays out enough juice relative to the concentration. And that was a presentation for Azzaro Now. Now, the first thing that I would like to mention in terms of the way that this fragrance smells is that it bears a lot of similarities to another Azzaro fragrance called Azzaro Chrome Legend. Now, that fragrance has kind of like a fruity, sweet, apple, creamy, coconut, fig leaf, fig fruit kind of a smell. And this fragrance smells very, very similar to that. Now, unfortunately, this fragrance smells like a watered down version of that. It smells like a watered down, more adulterated version of that. Now, that's not necessarily a good thing, and Chrome Legend is not one of my favorite scents. So I think that speaks volumes in terms of how I feel about this fragrance. But I do think that this fragrance has some redeeming features. Now, I don't mean to imply that the two smell identical to one another, because they don't. I think they possess the same DNA. But where this fragrance veers off track is in the fact that it contains the note of tea. Now, I know this fragrance contains tea because it also smells like another Azzaro fragrance called Azzaro Chrome Summer. I forget if it's the 2013 or the 2014 version. But that fragrance also has a dominant note of tea. And in this fragrance, it comes across rather leafy and herbal smelling. And I think the tea note also contributes to the wispiness and the lightness of the fragrance, how light it smells. Now, I think this one not only smells light, but I think it performs lightly too. The projection on this fragrance is about an elbow's length for like the first hour to hour and a half of application. And as far as longevity goes, you're going to get about 5 hours. Now, this is an eau de toilette, so it performs in the average range. The other thing about this fragrance is that it contains a note of rose, and I actually like the fact that it contains rose. It kind of adds like a sensual, romantic nature to the composition. But again, you know, it's not a natural smelling rose that would be very expensive, and it's not the best smelling rose either. And I don't think it meshes all that well with the other ingredients in this fragrance. The last note that I would like to touch upon is the note of lychee. And lychee is a very small tropical fruit. It's found in different parts of Asia. I personally had lychee. I've also had rambutan, which is closely related to lychee. And I've tried a fragrance containing lychee. I think it was from the Body Shop. And that fragrance was very pungent, very strong, really packed a punch. And it was very fruity and very sweet. This fragrance, on the other hand, is not that fruity, not that sweet. So the thing is, I'm really an all or nothing kind of guy. If I want a fragrance to smell sweet and creamy and fruity, I'm going to go for Chrome Legend. So this one, a wispier version, a lighter, more fleeting version of the original, is not something that I would reach for. So to whom would I recommend this fragrance? If you're looking for something to wear casually, if you're looking for something to wear that's inexpensive and you just so happen to be at like Marshall's or TJ Maxx or something and you see this on the shelf for $15.99, why not? You know, if you have a few extra dollars to burn, why not? Or if you're a collector and you're trying to, you know, extend your collection, then, maybe. But for somebody who wants a fragrance that's going to make a statement, something that's going to turn heads, something that's going to get you unrelenting attention, this is not the fragrance to do that with. Now, I want to read to you what's on the back of this box. On the back of the box it says, "This is a magnetic, fresh, woody, and green fragrance that contains notes of frosted metal, driftwood, and white leather." How to make the distinction or differentiation between white leather and other varieties of leather, I don't know. How do you capture the essence of frosted metal? I don't know. Which tells you that really the note breakdown in this fragrance, as well as many other fragrances, is really a point of departure for marketing and information for sales associates. So I told you guys what I think. Bottom line, this is a slightly fruity, creamy, slightly sweet, maybe a little vanillic tonka bean kind of a fragrance with a floral, clean nuance, but at the same time, it's rather weak and it's not one of my favorites. Last up, we have the rating. First up, we have uniqueness and overall smell, and I ended up giving this fragrance a 3 out of 10. Now, I don't find this to be a very good scent. I think it does have this clean, understated, casual nature to it, but it doesn't really make a statement, and that's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. I look at this as a downgraded version of Azzaro Chrome Legend. Next up, we have longevity. I give this one a 5 out of 10. Now, you get about 5 hours eau de toilette concentration, 4 to 6 hours is expected, so this one is average. As far as projection goes, this is a 3 out of 10. Now, this one radiates within an elbow's length for the first hour to hour and a half, and then it starts to sit very close to the skin, making it more of a close encounter kind of a fragrance. Next up, we have versatility, and I gave this a 6 out of 10. Now, I think this is pretty unisex. I would actually prefer to smell this one on a younger crowd. If you're an older gentleman, I would probably reach for something a little bit more sophisticated. I think this would work best in the hotter weather, and this is specifically and exclusively a casual wear scent. And last up, we have presentation. I gotta give it points for uniqueness, but many of my subscribers would agree the presentation of this one kind of looks like an adult toy. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10 for presentation. And overall, I have to give Now by Azzaro a 3 out of 10. This is not a favorite fragrance of mine. I'm not a huge fan of this. It's more of a casual wear scent, but even then there's so many other fragrances on the market, especially even from the house of Azzaro, that I think are far superior to this one. I think this one fell short in many categories. So there you have it, guys. That was my review of Now by Azzaro. If you own or have tried this fragrance, please let me know what you think by leaving a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to rate and subscribe for future videos. So once again, everyone, thank you very much for watching. This has been Steven with another fragrance review from Redolessence. I'll see you soon.